I mean, Meri didn't seem like she was never going to be out here.
She didn't to you?
She didn't have like a definite no, I'm not.
Because we still have that spiritual marriage intact. And now I will be moving forward with having that terminated. But that's going to take some time. Like, why in the world would I want to be tied to somebody eternally who doesn't want me?
Would not court and date her now.
Then why the hell did you marry me?
Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, September 16th, 2024. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Season 19 of Sister Wives episode 1 aired last night on September 15th, streaming today on Discovery Plus or on Max. And I want to talk about a couple things. This is going to be broken down into multiple videos today because I want to break them into the storylines of each of the people. So Meri Brown was in fine form, actually rare form. She was angry, very angry. She was I've never seen Meri like this. I mean, I think we saw a little bit of it last year when she got mad about the ring during the tell-all, and she was talking about how Kody basically wanted to melt down their marriage, but she was throwing it all out. Like, she was furious. Fury was furious with Kody, angry about the way that he's behaving, angry at how he has thrown away his family, and just flat out spilling her guts, not holding back anymore. When I watched this, I was like, it's no wonder Kody and Meri don't work together because they both have such strong personalities. And it's not a bad thing for Meri to have a strong personality, but Kody cannot be with anyone that doesn't bend to him and like submit like a dog. So Meri finally gets her moment. Robyn remains clueless about Meri and about Janelle and is still trying to get Kody to be a plural husband. The filming of this season takes off about a week after they had a conversation with Meri out at Coyote Pass. Kody and Robyn go to the property to talk about what their plans are for Coyote Pass. It's very clear that Kody and Robyn's relationship is struggling and they are not happy, but it's Meri that takes center stage as she dissects and deconstructs this really difficult moment and change in her life.
I don't know how Meri fits in the family because I don't fit in the family anymore. I've been excommunicated from my own family. I have this marriage and these kids with Robyn, and then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family.
It's fine. Go love Robyn. Love her the best that you can, but be honest with me. I don't care if you put a bleep over that.
Kody spends the majority of this first episode basically in a pity party about the loss of his family, a family that he literally pushed out of his life and removed himself from, and made statements like he had been excommunicated from his family when really his behavior and how he treated people is what caused people to cut him off and not want to talk to him. He blamed people for not having relationships, like, specifically the fact that he didn't have a relationship with his kids was blamed on the ex-wives like Janelle and Christine because they talk negatively about him publicly. And so he obviously believes they talk about him negatively in to the kids. And he is struggling in his relationship with Robyn. And you do really see in this very first episode how he's now starting to try to manipulate Robyn. So she's upset about the property, and then he's like, well, we still can build, the same way that he would like throw carrots at Meri or Christine or Janelle in the past. He's doing that with Robyn now. And even Robyn, the body language, it seems very irritated, distant, annoyed. And he's like, I don't know how to be happy. And it's like, you got what you wanted. And Mary's just basically like, this is literally what you wanted. Just go be happy with Robyn. Do it. Just stop messing with me. Stop stringing me along. And that's the thing, is she spoke about how for years Kody was lying to her and breadcrumbing her by trying to make her believe there was something going on in their relationship when there wasn't, and making promises to her that never would come to fruition, like how they were going to try to court and start anew when they moved to Flagstaff. And Cody's like, why would I court someone that I don't even like? Like, I'm not going to do that. So he admits that he lied to her, right? And, it's just wild that Kody, when confronted by producers over and over and over again during this episode, he would either do one of two things. He would cry and play the victim, he would completely shut down and refuse to talk about it, or he would basically start throwing accusations and getting angry and blaming people and getting like annoyed and deflecting, and really a lot of it was him playing the victim, like he couldn't love himself anymore. It was very weird. But Mary's anger with him continued, and frankly I agree, like, Kody, you did this to yourself. You literally did this to yourself. Go be happy with Robyn. Stop perseverating on the past. You weren't with these people for years. Years.
Kody, I said, I know you loved me. And he's like, well, I was affirming that I loved you. This is what I can't understand. When a single young man meets a single young woman, why would he choose to marry her and just affirm and force love for her when he didn't love her? How cruel is that, to pick me out of a crowd and just be like, I pick you to try to force myself to love for the next 32 years.
Meri spends time speaking with her friend Brandy, who she was friends with when they lived in Las Vegas. It looks like she was like friend group with her and Jen when they all lived together and when they were all in Vegas. And she's sitting talking with Brandy, and her friend Brandy is actually like a very even level voice, even telling Meri that there's something wrong with Kody, that he doesn't treat her very well, that he treats her like a way that no man should ever treat a woman. And she's telling her about the conversation where Cody's basically saying that he never loved Meri and that he had to affirm to her that he married her, which is actually gaslighting, right? He's making Meri question her reality of what she went through to make her feel like she doesn't understand or keep her off balance and confused. Anytime a guy makes you try to, or a person makes you want to question your reality and make you feel like you're the crazy one, that's gaslighting. He's making her like, I didn't actually love you, which doesn't make sense. Meri says it doesn't make sense. And why doesn't it make sense? Because they were both single when they met. Kody didn't have any other girlfriends. Kody wasn't dating anyone else. Kody and Meri met and they liked each other. They had a courtship. They fell hard for each other. They were like doughy eyed and teenagers in love together. And he's trying to rewrite history now because he's fallen out of love with her, or he's thrown away their relationship and moved on and found someone new. And rather than accepting the fact that he is the one that effed up by treating Meri poorly and basically cheating on her with all these women, and then bringing Robyn into the relationship and leaving Meri for Robyn, is what he did, because he divorced Meri for Robyn. And he's making her feel like he never loved her. He only ever loved Robyn. Gaslighting. Of course he loved Meri. Why else would he have ever married her? She was the one that he picked out of all of them. First. They might have not been compatible over the long term, but he did love her at one point. And she's obviously saying the quiet part out loud. It doesn't make sense.
He's going to be so mad at me in this interview. I'm kind of not giving a flying rat's ass. I don't know. It's weird. He just keeps saying things like, well, I don't think polygamy is fair to women.
That's not the Kody I know.
I think there's a lot of people that would say this is not the Kody I know. I don't know that it's that he cares about the fact that polygamy isn't fair to women. Maybe he's just not being fair to women.
Meri points out throughout this, and she says it without really saying it, but it's very, very, very clear that Meri's faith was a huge part of the reason why she was committed to this marriage. Her belief in the eternal life, which is why she wants to terminate their marriage. She says that if he doesn't want to be with her, why would she want to be stuck with him for eternity? She needs to terminate it so that she can be free of him. And it's clear that she took these vows very seriously when she married him, and he didn't. Or if he did, he's changed his point of view. And one thing that I noticed about Meri is that she has held back a lot over the years. She used to do a lot of the enabling, I think that Robyn did, where she would just excuse his behavior or defend him or deflect for him or kind of parrot what he would say. But now it's like she is done having to protect him. She's done having to protect their relationship or even having to protect polygamy. And in a way, she still sort of protects polygamy here because she still seems to have this idea that if Kody would have treated the women more fairly, it would have worked. And I don't think it ever really would have worked because it's just impossible to live that lifestyle. You can't equitably treat four women the same and everyone gets their needs met. But they don't need to have all of their need met because in this faith, the more you suffer, the greater you are and closer you are to God. The more suffering, the more perfect you become. So the suffering is like a badge of honor. And in a way, Meri stays around because that suffering is a part of what she's told is a part of her greatness. The more you suffer, the more you endure, the bigger the blessings in heaven. But now she's gotten to this point where I think she's seen things more clearly and she's got friends around her that are rallying around her and reminding her, like, the way that Kody treats you isn't normal. This is not how a man should treat a woman. And there's a point in this conversation where Meri very clearly states that she believes that what Kody's been doing to the public has been lying for a very long time. Now, in fairness, I want to say, yes, Kody has been lying, but he's also been stringing them along, and the women have been lying for him. Maybe because they've been strung along and breadcrumbed by him, believing there would be something better, and they were indoctrinated to endure all of it, right? But they were all kind of lying to the public about what was going on, and Kody lied the most because he made comments about how Meri was his soulmate and how much he loved Meri and how much he valued Christine and how much he loved Janelle, right? Well, none of his actions actually demonstrated that. And equity and time and money and resources and affection. So she talks about that, which is, again, she says the quiet part out loud.
I am upset with how I was treated. I'm upset with the last 10 or 12 years and his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want. And the story that he's been telling.
Love should be multiplied, not divided.
I'm upset about that because that's not fair to me, to anybody in the family, to anybody watching our story.
Kody, on the very first episode, said that he loved marriage, that he was a repeat offender, that love should be multiplied, not divided, that he loved his wives, Christine, Janelle, and Meri. He loved all of his children, and that he wanted to show the world that polygamy was, it worked, and women all had a choice, and all women were valued, and it was all fair. Everything was fair, everything was equitable. And that's the story Kody has been telling for years, even into last season, saying that he was fair with his time, he was fair with his rotation, he was fair with the equity of what he gave to people and the resources when he wasn't. It's been hard for the viewers to watch because we've seen them lying, right? But it would appear that Meri is saying here that, like, and I think it's a testimony to the fact that when you look at how this cult, the Apostolic United Brethren, has a history and a pattern of utilizing the women to try to be the face of this cult, to say that we do have a choice. This is what we want. It is beautiful. Everything is fair. And then to protect the husband. And even in this episode, Meri says he's going to be so mad at me, flying F, because she's had to hold back and not say the quiet parts out loud. She's not been able to say to everyone, like, Kody is lying about that he loves all his wives. Kody is lying that this is all fair to women. Kody is lying that he cares about his children. Kody is lying that this is what he wants to be doing. Cody's lying. He's lying to us. He's lying to his kids. He's lying to the public. He's lying. And on the flip side, the women who had to stay with him because they were bound by their faith had to lie for him so that he would stay kind to them and still give them resources, time, energy, affection, and scraps. So she's, like, finally not lying, which is good. Now she'll go into her relationship with Robyn.
I don't believe that Robyn has a bad heart. And there's a lot of people within the family and otherwise that I think that she does. She and I were close. at the very beginning. And I know she's always had my back and has been supportive, but I guess it just is what it is now. And she and Cody are going to have to figure out a way, to live together and live with that, honestly.
And that's what she said about Robyn, that this isn't necessarily what Robyn wanted or what she said she wanted. It's not what she signed up for. And that on the surface, they were close in the very beginning, and she doesn't think that she's a bad person, but she also recognizes the limitations of their relationship now. And I think what she says without saying it is that, and if you look at Cody and Robyn's house, it's clear, very clear what they did. These two were in a monogamous relationship for years. They were okay with the fact that other women in the family were not involved in their day-to-day lives. They did their filming together. They played pretend on the show and acted like this family was a family when it really was not a family in any capacity. They're the ones that get to live with the fact that their behavior and their exclusion of everyone else, their pilfering of the income of everyone else, the taking of the resources from everyone else, the neglect of everyone else. And Robyn is involved in that, complicit to it, because she saw what Cody was doing and she couldn't control Cody, but at the same time, she could have played fair and she didn't play fair. She could have sent Cody back. She could have told them, you need to go to Christine's house and spend time at Christine's, instead of letting him be at her house all the time and not giving resources and then using all the family money on her. And then other people don't have housing. Kids aren't getting surgeries. Her son gets surgery. No one else gets surgery. Christine has to pay for her. Cody pays for Dayton's surgery. Make it make sense. They are the ones that have to live with this, and they're going to basically have to figure that out. And it doesn't look like, based on this episode, it's that great.
I just don't think you ever knew how good it could be. Tim would never, ever say the things to me that Cody said to you. For 32 years, you've put up with something that you did not deserve. He didn't deserve you, and you're free.
He's going to wake up one day and be like, wow, what the hell did I just do? He's going to be accountable for that, whether he likes it or not.
Honestly, the best thing that ever happened to these women was moving to Vegas and getting into the real world. And they were able to make friends with people outside of polygamy, outside of their circle, outside of their church. They were able to meet other women that had relationships in the monogamous world. They were able to meet men that were monogamists and loyal to their wives and didn't look at women as property and chattel for babies and for an increase into heaven. They looked at women as a value of who they were, what they contributed outside of their sexuality. And I think that has been a big blessing for all of them. In fact, Brandy's statements there, without saying it, is basically telling Meri, like, listen, you've been abused by this man for 32 years and you did not deserve that. And you are finally free of that. That's not that's not sad. That's good. Meri's grieving and she's angry and she's frustrated and she's telling Robyn that she can't be friends with her and telling Cody to go off and be happy. But it is true. I'm recognizing in that conversation just how naive Meri has been for so long and not understanding that Cody was being abusive, right? She's finally got people in her life saying to her, this is not okay. And Brandy says, my husband would never say the things or do the things that Cody does. And you've had to put up with that for years. And you did. And now it's okay to be happy. And Cody does have to be accountable for his behavior. He does. But in our next video, we'll show you how Cody is playing the victim, how his marriage with Robyn is falling apart, and how he's just a freaking mess because he refuses to take accountability. But I'm liking to see this side of Meri. It's showing that she is waking up from the fog. And she is finally free. What are your thoughts? Make sure to leave a comment and let me know if you think this is a good sign for what's to come for the season. Is Meri right and fueled in her in her ire and her anger at Cody? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. We're getting very close to 400,000 subscribers, and I would love to get there before the end of this year. So please make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It is free for you to subscribe. And There are so many of you that watch every single one of my videos that haven't yet subscribed, so please do that. Also, click on the bell so you never miss a video and you get notified when I post new content. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everyone.